Sometimes the pain runs so deep, you don't even know how to talk about it anymore. You've cried the same prayer for weeks or maybe months. You've run out of words, and now all you feel is quiet ache. But God sees what no one else sees. He hears the cry behind your silence. He understands the weight you're carrying, even the part you try to hide from yourself. Your healing hasn't been ignored. It hasn't been forgotten. It's just not finished yet. God is not looking for perfect prayers. He's looking for open hearts. He's not measuring your strength. He's offering you His. The fact that you're still here, still listening, still hoping, even just a little, is a sign that healing is already happening. Because you haven't given up, no pain is invisible to Him. No wound is too small or too old. No history is too heavy. He doesn't rank your hurt. He meets you in it. So if all you can do today is breathe through the pain, that's enough. Because God is working in places you can't yet see. And the healing you've been waiting for, it's already on the way. It may feel like everything in your life is unraveling. Like your emotions are too raw, your heart too heavy, and your faith too fragile. You wonder, am I breaking? But here's the truth you need to hold on to. You're not falling apart. You're being rebuilt. Sometimes God allows what's been holding us up to break, not to destroy us, but to remove what was never meant to stay. Old patterns, old pain, old expectations. He lovingly clears away what's been hurting you, so He can rebuild you on something stronger. It might look messy. It might feel chaotic. But beneath the surface, something sacred is happening. He's not patching you up. He's making you new. You won't be the same as before. You'll be deeper, wiser, stronger, not because of what you've avoided, but because of what you've walked through. The pieces may not make sense right now, but they're in the hands of a healer who never wastes a single piece. So when it feels like everything is falling apart, remember, this might just be the beginning of the most beautiful rebuild you've ever known. And yes, your healing is still on the way. We often think healing only starts when the pain fades, when we smile again, sleep again, breathe easy again. But healing doesn't wait for everything to feel better. Healing begins before you feel it. It starts the moment you let go of pretending, the moment you admit, this hurts more than I expected, the moment you open your heart to God, even if it's through tears. Sometimes healing looks like rest, not progress. Sometimes it's in the quiet moments where nothing seems to be happening, but something is shifting deep within. A hard edge softens. A memory hurts a little less. A breath comes a little easier. God doesn't wait for you to feel strong before He begins His work. He starts healing the moment you invite Him in. And here's what's beautiful. He heals gently. He doesn't rush you. He doesn't push you to move on faster than you're ready. He sits with you in the ache and slowly, faithfully, begins stitching you back together. So if you're still hurting, don't assume nothing is happening. If you still feel broken, don't give up on the process. Because healing often begins in silence, grows in patience, and reveals itself in time. Trust this, even if you don't feel it yet. Healing has already begun. There are wounds you've learned to live with, wounds you've stopped mentioning because you don't want to sound dramatic, wounds from things people said or didn't say, from moments you never got closure, from seasons that changed you forever, but no one noticed. But hear this truth. God sees every wound, even the ones you buried, and He knows how to heal what you don't know how to name. You don't need the perfect words. You don't have to explain everything that happened. You just need to be honest with Him. Even if all you can say is, God, I'm not okay. He's not afraid of your hidden pain. He's not overwhelmed by what you carry. He's not impatient with your process. He is kind. He is near. And He is fully capable of healing even the damage you thought was permanent. Sometimes healing doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with stillness, with presence, with the quiet realization that what once triggered you no longer controls you. So bring it to Him. The wound you never told anyone about. The one you thought was too small to matter. The one that still aches late at night. Because to God, there's no such thing as a small wound. If it matters to your heart, it matters to His. And your healing is already on the way. You've been strong for so long, smiling when you're tired, showing up when you feel like disappearing, telling others you're fine, when inside, you're barely holding on. But hear this, you don't have to pretend you're okay. Not with God. He's not impressed by performance. He's not asking for perfection. He's inviting honesty. Because healing doesn't begin in pretending. It begins in permission. Permission to feel, to rest, to grieve what was lost, to say, I'm not okay right now, and know that He won't walk away. God never asked you to fake your faith. He never asked you to push down your pain. He simply said, come to me, all who are weary, and you, beloved, are allowed to be weary. You're allowed to feel everything. You're allowed to let the tears fall. You're allowed to stop carrying the weight of, I have to hold it all together. Because God holds you together. And He's not asking you to be unbreakable. He's asking you to be real, so He can do the real work of healing. So take off the mask. Exhale. Cry if you need to, because this is where the healing begins. Not in pretending, but in permission to be fully human. And from that place, He will lift you, He will mend you, and He will remind you your healing is on the way. Some days you feel hopeful. Other days, the weight comes crashing back. There are moments you breathe deep and feel peace. And moments you wonder if you've made any progress at all. And that's okay, because healing is not a straight line. It's not always forward motion. It's not always neat or predictable. It's messy. It's layered. It takes time. There will be days you feel like you're moving backward. Days when old wounds feel fresh again. But that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. It means something deep is being restored. And like any deep restoration, it takes more than one step. God is not discouraged by your up and down journey. He's not impatient with the process. He walks with you through every dip and detour. And He's not measuring your progress by perfection. He's looking at your heart. Did you show up today? Did you breathe through the pain? Did you whisper His name when it hurt? Then yes, you're healing. So don't give up because it's slow. Don't disqualify yourself because it's hard. You're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it honestly. And that kind of healing, the kind that takes time, truth, and trust, is the kind that lasts. You may be wondering why the pain hasn't gone away all at once, why the breakthrough hasn't happened in a single moment, why you still feel tender in places you thought were healed. But listen gently. God heals in layers, not all at once. Not because He's withholding, but because He's wise. Because some parts of your heart need time. Some wounds require space to breathe. Some lessons can't be rushed. He knows how much you can handle right now. He knows what part of your heart is ready for restoration and which part needs a little more time. Just like a skilled surgeon doesn't operate all at once. God works carefully, intentionally, layer by layer, removing what hurts, repairing what's broken, restoring what was lost. Each layer, He peels back, reveals something new, strength you didn't know you had, truth you needed to face, grace you're finally ready to receive. So don't get discouraged if you feel like healing is taking longer than you hoped. It doesn't mean God isn't working. It means He's working deeply. Let Him continue. Let Him take His time. Because the healing He's doing now is laying the foundation for lasting peace later. One layer at a time. One day at a time. Your healing is still on the way. You've been strong for a long time. You've carried more than most people know. You've been the one others lean on. The quiet, steady presence holding everything together. But let this sink in. It's okay to ask for help. Needing support doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. And healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in connection. God never intended for you to walk through this alone. Even Jesus wept. Even He leaned on others. And if he allowed himself to need help, so can you. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's giving God room to show up through people, through kind words, through prayer, through someone simply sitting beside you in the quiet. You don't have to explain everything. You don't have to be okay before you speak up. You just have to be willing to say, I need someone right now. And God will meet you in that moment, through a friend, through a counselor, through his own spirit comforting you in stillness. So don't carry it alone anymore. Let someone in. Let God in. Let the walls come down. Because sometimes the first step toward healing is simply asking for help in a world that tells you to keep going, to stay busy, to push through the pain. It can feel like rest is laziness or weakness, but that's not how God sees it. You're allowed to rest while you heal. Rest is not giving up. It's not a sign you're broken beyond repair. It's part of the process. It's a holy pause, a space where God can do what hustle can't. Healing isn't always about effort. Sometimes it's about surrender, laying down the need to have it all together, allowing your body, mind, and heart to catch their breath, letting God hold the weight for a while. Jesus himself rested. He stepped away from the crowds. He withdrew to quiet places, and he invited others to do the same. Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. That invitation still stands. Right here, right now. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to apologize for needing it. So if you're tired, if your soul feels heavy, if your body needs stillness, listen, this is not the end of your healing journey. This is part of it. And God is just as present in your rest as he is in your progress. So breathe, lay it down, and let rest be a part of your restoration. Sometimes healing feels invisible, like nothing's changing, like you're stuck in the same place, like all your effort is leading nowhere. But let me remind you of something powerful. Progress is still progress, even if it's small. That deep breath you took instead of breaking down. Progress. That moment you chose to pray, even with a tired heart. Progress. That decision to get out of bed, to show up, to try again. That's real, courageous, beautiful progress. We often wait for big victories to celebrate, but healing is made of small moments strung together over time. Moments that no one may ever see, but God sees them, and he honors them. You're not being measured by speed, not by comparison, not by perfection. God sees your tiny steps as testimonies. Every inch forward matters to him. And even when you feel like you're crawling, you are still moving. You are still healing. So be gentle with yourself. Look back and notice how far you've come. You're not who you were yesterday. You're growing. You're learning. You're becoming. And yes, your healing is still on the way. But today, right now, celebrate this truth. You've already begun. You may be wondering why it's taking so long. Why healing isn't happening faster. Why the pain still lingers even though you've been praying, trusting, and doing your best to move forward. But hear this truth. God doesn't rush the process because he cares about doing it right. He's not just focused on getting you past the pain. He's interested in forming something deeper in you through it. Patience, compassion, strength, a testimony that will speak to others in their hardest moments. Fast healing can be shallow, but deep healing takes time. It touches not just the surface, but the soul. And God isn't trying to just get you back to normal. He's building something new, something better, something grounded in faith, strengthened by experience, and rooted in his love. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to force your way through. Just stay with him in the process, because every day he is gently, faithfully, shaping the pieces of your life into something beautiful. He sees a timeline. He knows what you need and when you'll be ready. And his timing is always perfect, even when it's slower than you expected. So let go of the rush. Let go of the pressure. Let God take his time, because his time leads to true, lasting healing. Healing doesn't always come with visible signs. Sometimes there's no big moment, no dramatic change, just quiet shifts beneath the surface. And it's easy to wonder, am I really getting better? But the truth is, you're healing, even if it doesn't look like it yet. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean God isn't working. He's rebuilding your confidence, restoring your peace, repairing your trust. Brick by brick, moment by moment. You may still feel fragile. You may still have hard days. But hard days don't mean you're not making progress. Tears don't mean you've gone backward. Healing doesn't mean you never feel pain again. It means the pain no longer controls your life. It means you're learning how to respond with grace. It means you're choosing hope, even when it's hard. God sees the invisible victories, the times you chose to breathe instead of panic, the days you didn't quit, the quiet ways you kept showing up. So don't discredit what's happening just because you can't measure it. This season may feel still, but stillness isn't emptiness. It's where strength is being restored. It's where roots are growing deep. It's where healing is unfolding at the pace of grace. And yes, your healing is real. It's happening, even now. Sometimes the hardest thing to accept is that you're still not there yet. Still not fully okay. Still carrying more pain than you'd like. Still needing time. More time than you thought it would take. And in a world that moves fast, that rewards quick fixes and instant answers, it's easy to feel like needing time makes you weak. But hear this truth. You're not weak for needing time. You're wise for honoring your process. Healing isn't a deadline. It's not a race. It's a journey with sacred stops, slow days, and steady growth. God isn't frustrated with you. He's not watching the clock. He's not disappointed that you're still learning, still processing, still healing. In fact, he's proud of you for continuing, for holding on, for showing up even when it's slow. You don't have to hurry up and heal. You don't have to bounce back by someone else's standard. You don't have to apologize for how long it's taking. This is your story. You're healing, and God is walking every step with you. So give yourself grace. Give yourself room. Give yourself time. Because healing isn't about how fast you get there. It's about who you become along the way. There are moments when you feel like this is it. Like the pain you're in will never end. Like your story has stalled in the middle of heartbreak or exhaustion, and there's no page left to turn. But listen closely. God is not finished with your story. What feels like the end to you might just be a pause, a holy space where you're preparing the next chapter. He's still writing, still working, still weaving beauty from what felt broken. You may not understand this part yet, but every great story has a turning point, a moment where hope breaks through, where light returns, where the character rises again, stronger, wiser, softer in all the right ways. That moment is coming for you. You're not stuck. You're not abandoned. You're in process. And God never leaves his work unfinished. If he started healing you, he will finish it. If he planted hope in your heart, he will grow it. If he gave you a promise, he will fulfill it. So don't close the book. Don't walk away. Stay with the story, because your healing, your purpose, your joy, they are still unfolding. And what's coming next, it's worth staying for. You might have pictured your healing one way, quick, clear, complete. A day when all the pain disappears and everything feels like it used to, but sometimes healing looks different than you expect. It's not always loud. It's not always instant. And it rarely comes in the form you imagined. Sometimes healing looks like crying in prayer and feeling peace rise slowly afterward. Sometimes it's choosing rest instead of forcing yourself to be okay. Sometimes it's setting a boundary, forgiving someone quietly, or simply taking a deep breath before trying again. And sometimes healing means learning to live with a scar, but without the shame. God's version of healing goes deeper than surface relief. He doesn't just remove the pain. He rewrites how it shaped you. He replaces bitterness with compassion, anxiety with trust, and fear with quiet strength. You might still feel a little raw. You might still carry the memory, but you're no longer defined by it. So if it doesn't look like you thought it would, don't lose heart. God knows what you need, and He's healing more than you realize. One quiet step at a time. He's restoring your heart in the most unexpected, faithful ways. And even if it's different than expected, it's still real, it's still healing, and it's still on the way. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind, like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in place, like you missed something, some timeline, some milestone, some version of who you were supposed to be by now. But hear this clearly. You're not behind. You're right where you need to be. Healing doesn't run on anyone else's clock. Your journey is not a race. There is no schedule you failed to meet. There is no benchmark you've missed. God is not comparing you to anyone else. He's walking with you, step by step, at a pace that fits your heart, not your pressure, not the world's expectations. Just grace, patience, and love. You haven't wasted time. You haven't fallen too far. You haven't messed up your future. You're in the middle of a process that is sacred and personal. And while you may not be there yet, you're not where you used to be. That's growth. That's movement. That's healing. So release the lie that you're behind. Trust that God's timeline is better than yours. Trust that your path is still unfolding, beautifully and intentionally. You are not late. You are not lost. You are deeply seen, fully loved, and completely on time. We often celebrate the fast stories, the quick turnarounds, the overnight breakthroughs, the testimonies that wrap up neatly in a few sentences. But what about the slow stories? The ones that stretch across months, maybe even years? The quiet victories no one claps for? Let me remind you, even slow healing is still healing. God is not discouraged by your pace. He's not in a hurry. He's more interested in depth than speed, more interested in who you're becoming than how quickly you get there. Every small step forward matters. Every time you choose faith instead of fear, every moment you keep going even when it's hard, that's healing in motion. Don't measure your healing by how fast you feel better. Measure it by how gently you're learning to treat yourself, by how you're letting God into the broken places, by how you're learning to rest, release, and rebuild. There's no shame in slow. Slow healing means you're moving with intention. It means you're feeling instead of forcing. It means you're giving space for real transformation to happen, the kind that lasts. So if it's taking time, breathe. You're not failing. You're healing, and you're doing it beautifully at your own God-guided pace. You may not feel strong right now. You may feel worn down, stretched thin, and unsure if you can take much more. But feelings can lie, and the truth is this: you're stronger than you think. Not because you've never been hurt, but because you've chosen to keep going, even when it hurt. You walked through valleys you didn't think you'd survive. And here you are, still breathing, still trying, still showing up. That's strength. It doesn't always look bold or loud. Sometimes strength is quiet. It's in the tears you wiped away on your own, in the nights you prayed even when you were exhausted, in the moments you loved again after being broken. God sees it all. He's been with you through every moment, and He's not surprised by your strength. He's the one who put it in you. You don't need to have it all figured out to be strong. You don't need to feel brave to be brave. Sometimes, just standing back up is victory enough. So stop downplaying your progress. Stop thinking you're too fragile. You are a warrior in slow motion. You are becoming who God always knew you were. And with Him by your side, you're stronger than you know. And your healing is closer than you think. There are moments when the damage feels too deep, when the cracks in your heart feel beyond repair, when the pain you carry whispers, "You'll never be whole again." But that voice is not from God. Because here's the truth. You're not too broken for God to restore. He is the God of redemption, the one who speaks life into dry bones, the one who turns ashes into beauty. The one who sees every shattered piece and says, "Watch what I can do with this." Your brokenness doesn't scare him. It doesn't disqualify you. It invites him in. He doesn't just patch up the pain. He transforms it. He makes it part of your story, not as a mark of failure, but as proof of his grace. You may carry scars, but they will shine with testimony. You may walk with a limp, but it will be a sign you wrestled with God and came out blessed. Don't let the depth of your wounds convince you that healing isn't possible, because the deeper the pain, the greater the restoration. God hasn't given up on your healing, and he never will. So bring him your broken, bring him your fear, bring him your story, because he's not finished yet, and your healing is still on the way. It may feel like everything is falling apart, like the season you're in is too dark, too painful, too heavy to carry one more day. But let me gently remind you, this is not the end of your story. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not stuck where you are. God is still writing, still weaving, still working behind the scenes in ways you can't yet see. And what feels like a full stop to you might just be a comma in his greater plan. The tears you cried, he's counted them. The prayers you whispered, he's heard them. The hope you've held on to, even with trembling hands, he honors it. You don't have to know what comes next. You don't have to fix everything right now. You just need to hold on to this truth. Your healing is still on the way. Your heart will not stay broken. Your life will not stay in pieces. God is not done with you. And someday soon, you'll look back at this moment and realize it wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something new, something stronger, something beautifully redeemed. So take a breath, lift your eyes. The story isn't over. God is still at work, and what's coming is worth staying for.